Dr. Jazz.
Hey guys,
Dr.
Samo here.
Jazz.
Thanks for checking out the channel and its contents. And if you feel like it, please do subscribe. Thanks so much. Enjoy the video. Bye. But cool, man. Thanks for finding the time. Appreciate it. We
Oh, my
finally did
pleasure.
it after 3
My
years or
pleasure, man.
something.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure.
And I've done this talk with so many guys you've played with, and now we have a good excuse to make this one since you have a new record coming
Good,
out.
good. Yes, yes.
And I wanted to start asking you, it's very different than the previous one, and
Oh, yeah.
the Bang, and which was your other side in a way, like
Yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely, definitely.
and now this one is like really the jazzy shit. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
But what's the story behind the new record and the band and
Well, the concept was, it was Miles's birthday, also Coltrane, so
yeah,
wanted to do something pretty special. And I wanted the second record that I did for Warner to be more of a, I wanted to present all the sides of music that I like. So this one was, we said, okay, we're going to go down the middle. And the choice of musicians really was like people I've played with, people I'm comfortable with, that I know, and the young cats, that I didn't really have to give them a direction per se. I just gave them ideas and concepts, and we went from there. So the tunes, like we rehearsed one day. The next day we got in the studio, I told them forget everything that we rehearsed and let's just play. So and when you have a freedom and a comfortability with people, you can do that. So
yeah,
the Bang was the other side. I grew up in New York City, so the Bang was the more hip hop R&B side, which I always wanted to do also. But this is what people know me for, so I said, okay, we're gonna give them that, and hopefully they like the record. I mean, I'm enjoying it. It was fun to do, and it's gonna be even more fun to play live.
oh man, absolutely, yeah. It's nice. It's nice that because it's basically like an homage, the Pulse of Miles Davis. You called it like the subtitle in a way, or
Yeah, yeah.
it's an homage to all the drummers, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. It's really that, and that's the angle of it is that thinking about all the great drummers who came through Miles's bands, from Tony, Al Foster, Billy Hart, Kenny Clark, Philly Joe Jones, Jimmy Cobb,
give me talk, yeah,
and on down the list, and how to pay tribute to those great guys and play tunes from each era, um, all the way up until the electric era also. So
exactly.
that that was the fun part. Like I get to keep turning the hat, but it's still me, but it's capturing all of those great, all of to me, like that is what defines jazz drumming, if you want to say that, quote unquote,
Yeah,
is thinking about a band that had Philly, Jimmy Cobb, Kenny Clark, like, that's incredible. Jack DeJohnette, excuse me.
Jeanette, of course, yeah.
Oh my God, my buddy Jack. Yep. So yeah, that it's hard to do. Also, I would say that that's a challenge because I think the thing is to stay uniquely yourself while trying to present all of this music and not go back into what you've heard.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know. And so I probably couldn't do this record 40, 30 years ago because I would be trying to, okay, in this tune, I need to play like Jimmy Cobb in this tune. But no, now that I've established myself many years, what you hear is me with my concept of how I would have played these tunes.
Yeah, yeah. But how did you?
Don't mind me, I'm going to put my dust
Uh,
mask
oh,
on.
sure. No
Okay.
worries. I
But
wanted to ask you, I listened today to Dropping Things by Betty Carter, and already
yeah,
there you have the sound. In a way, it's like your sound.
yeah, that's funny
And
because Betty was like, Betty, she said something to me the first day in rehearsal when I joined the band. She said, look, I don't want to hear Blakey. I don't want to hear Max. I don't want to hear any of those guys. I played with those guys. I want young, fresh sound. And you have to imagine I'm like 19, 20. like 21, whatever. But how do you like what? Like okay. And she said, yeah, you better figure it out now.
Sure.
So, you know, when you have people who challenge you from early on to find your sound, that's kind of, you know, it kind of put me on the right path. And I still don't think I've found my sound. I'm finding it's evolving,
Mm,
and I'm enjoying the way it's evolving, but it's still not where I want it to be, you know. So that's
interesting.
why you see the drums behind me every day practicing, you know, every day.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we go into this music because we love it. Otherwise,
Yep, that's true. That's
it's,
true. And it's not
you know,
easy. It's
no,
not
it's not easy. No,
it's
no.
not easy to find your voice. Can you still hear me clearly?
Yeah, yeah, super. Thanks.
Yeah, it's not easy to find your voice. You know, I did a master class maybe a couple months ago, and I was telling the guys, yeah, find your voice as soon as possible. And one guy wrote back to me, but what do you mean find your voice? I said, yeah, exactly that. Like we listen to these records, but you know, you have to be able to listen, to transcribe with your ears, to learn, to copy, and then to forget.
Yep.
If you get all the way up to here and you don't get that last one, well, that's you know, there's only one Philly, there's only one Tony, there's only
Exactly.
one, you know. And so what's your mark going to be? What are you going to say? What are you going to do? You know, that to me that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to, you know, that's why you know, guys hear me talk about flurries and popular music, how all the drummers sound the same because they do. Like in jazz, at least we have this individuality that we all sound different. In pop music now, everyone plays the same kind of
Absolutely.
lick, the same, and there's no, you can't tell who's who.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Even in jazz, I mean, it's like I think about this many times, and when I do these interviews, so when I think, let's say, about jazz guitar, the generation of players who were born, let's say, 1950, all of them are, you know, you hear Schofield, Matheny, Stern, Frizzell, you hear two notes. The younger cats, it's not so much obvious, you know. There's so many Kurt Rosenwinkel types and so
Yep.
on, and it's like, dudes, you know, like, come
Yep,
on.
you said it exactly. Like, and I
And
guess maybe with guitar it's hard too because you're dealing with a sound, right? There's only but so many damn sounds. Now there's a guy on my record, two guys who to me have different sounds.
yeah, Jacob, I know, and the other guitarist I didn't know. I have to check.
Emmanuel Michael, oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God, he's a beast, man. Like he is. I met him subbing a class for Kendrick Scott at Manhattan School of Music, and it was an ensemble. And I walked in, and this guy's got, you know, now this was it wintertime? No, maybe not, but he had this big coat on, man, and these glasses and his hat, and he was smiling. And I sat in the middle of the floor, and when he started playing, man, I looked up. I said, "Oh shit, what's this?" And he kept playing, man. And when they finished the tune, I said, "Hey, man, I gotta get your number, man. Yeah, I gotta get you on a record, man, because that what I heard." And so he's the first cat in a long time I've heard that has a different sound
yeah,
and a different approach, you know. So,
yeah.
but the
It's
point
it's
is,
heavy.
like, when you listen to a Bill Stewart, is Bill Stewart. Kenny Washington was my teacher. Is Kenny Washington. Lewis Nash is Lewis Nash. Tane is Tane.
Yeah,
There's so many different. You know, the voices are all different. The sheet is the sheet. Emac is Emac.
yeah. Your
Harlan is
generation,
Harlan.
exactly. Yeah,
You know, everybody is different. So that's the difference that we have, I think.
yeah, yeah. Your generation was so strong, you know. Clarence Penn, let's say, including here as well. Like all these guys, like you really hear
Hey,
them. So many guys coming from the Betty Carter school as well, you know, which is
yep, Nate
interesting.
Smith,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Clarence, Lewis Nash, Bernard Harper,
yeah.
Kenny Washington, Clifford Barbaro.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Shit, I'm forgetting some. Oh God, my young friend. There's a few. Alvesta Garnett.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a few cats. Harlan.
exactly. Yeah. You're mentioning now all these names, and how was it for you? Like, so let's say I think I did. Who told me? Drew Grass. I think we did this interview, and he said like when he started in New York, like mid '80s or something like that. Like one guy, one piano player said like, let me write down your number, and there was like a black book, and he was under there, like, and above was Eddie Gomez, Mark Johnson, and I don't know, like all these greats, and his thoughts were like, oh shit, what am I even doing here? And how was it like for you? You're mentioning now all these drummers, and when you started, Alvin was alive, Art Blakey was alive.
But those were the masters,
Yeah.
Those
How
were
was it
the.
like for you when you entered the scene? I mean, what was the
Uh,
general vibe and feeling for you?
I think the thing for me that was different was I grew up in New York, so I wasn't coming to New York. So everyone got to see me grow. Um, I got lucky. I came right in on the scene. I started playing with Red Rodney, George Adams,
Wow.
Lou Donaldson, Clarence C. Sharp. So like people saw me in New York. So I grew up on the scene in New York. So it wasn't difficult at all. It was actually a lot of fun, and I would go sit and hang out with Blakey all the time, hang out with Art Taylor, hang out with Elvin, hang out with Tony when they came to New York. So, and I had good teachers around. Like my first teacher, Marvin Smitty Smith, was my next
Really?
door neighbor. Yeah, he lived next door to me.
Oh man. How was
Then
he like? I love the
oh man, Smitty was
Dave
great,
Holland's
man.
quintets, man. Like,
Smitty was incredible. Like literally his drums were literally right. Like my bed was this wall, and on the other side of the wall was his drums. So this guy, he would practice one pattern all day. If he was practicing one day I heard him play, he was was playing rudiments all day, and then the next day it was a congas, and I'm like, where the fuck did he get congas from? And I swear for 5 6 hours, do 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 do, and I'm like, what the hell, for literally 5 hours, bro? Like literally, like I swear, he just played the same. So he instilled in me that kind of way of thinking of being disciplined. Like a lot of guys don't get good because they're not disciplined.
yeah,
There's a lot of great, I like to say there's a lot of players that get to a certain level and they don't go any further because they lack discipline. And at a certain level, everyone can play. That's it's just a matter of apples and oranges. It's just a matter of what do you need for this sound. But underneath that level is the guys and ladies who are struggling to get to find that. So I teach. That's kind of what I teach. But going back to who else was around, Lewis Nash was my neighbor 2 blocks away, and Kenny Washington lived about 6 or 7 blocks away.
oh
And
man.
then he later married my aunt, so he became my uncle. And that's my guy. He's so honest. He's one of those guys that like I'm always nervous when I play around him. Then one day, he had never really heard me play, and then one day he came to see me. He said, "Man, how do you do that?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "How do you take all the tradition, but yet you can play modern, but you
Yeah.
hear everything?" I said, "Well, I gotta learn to fit in with these guys. Like this is not Lou Donaldson, it's Joshua Redman. So and we're playing 5/4, 7/4, 3/4. So." How does that work? I said, but you could do it too. Like nah. I said, no, you can do it, and he could. So, and then the guy who taught, Marcus and Kenny and Steve Jordan and Omar, this one of my greatest mentors, his name is Justin DeChocho,
Mm, no.
and he's responsible for basically changing the music scene to me. He taught at Music and Art LaGuardia, and yeah, he's responsible for all those great drummers, man. Sterling Campbell, Zachary Alford, Zach Danziger, like all these guys came through this one teacher.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, great.
Yeah. We mentioned Betty Carter before. How did that gig happen? Because he was famous for always getting really young players and like,
Kenny and Lewis, Kenny and Lewis,
Ah, okay.
Kenny and Lewis, and I would like to also say probably Winard also. But I was Kenny. She was looking for a drummer, and my good friend Troy Davis was playing before
Yep.
me, and I went to sit in with her at a club called Fat Tuesdays in New
Sure.
York, right? And I remember, and you know, she was weird. She was weird. Like she had a way of intimate. Like she didn't tell Troy I was coming to play. You know, so Troy's like, "Hey, what's up, Hutch?" I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" You know, and then Betty's like, "Yeah, I got a young drummer in the house. I want him to sit in." And Troy looked like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh shit, this is awkward." So I played a tune, and then I remember she came back. She's like, "Yep, okay. Well, we're gonna start rehearsing." Was like 2 days after. And I said, "Okay." So that was it.
Oh wow.
And me and her, we got along. I was one of the few cats that she never really messed with at all. Like she might have given me that one criticism during the rehearsal. The first rehearsal was, yeah, let me hear your sound, and then after that, I understood. Like I didn't want her on my case. Like I said, let me take TCB, take care of business. I knew all the music, and we got along. She was one of the best band leaders. Her and Ray Brown,
Yeah.
probably two of the people I learned the most from of from that generation. And yeah, that's I was lucky that way.
Yeah. Because you connected with. I checked out. I mean, I have so many CDs still. I'm still
I
at.
see, I see. It's like my room. Yeah,
Yeah, I just love physical and books
yeah, definitely, man.
and I checked. I have even so many albums, man. And like the earliest stuff is like Joe Henderson, I think Lush Life, and Ray Brown's a lot of records, and Jimmy Smith, and
Yep,
you basically got the chance to play with these elders, and
yep. That's the difference. That I'm the they call me the OG now. Oh boy, that's that. I never thought I'd get to that stage, but one of the few that kind of I transition the generations. So from the old cats to the young cats, I'd say I'm one of very few who got a chance to really play with those old cats.
yeah.
Um, Freddie Hubbard,
Oh yeah.
Joe Henderson, Al Gray, Joe Williams. Like the list is crazy. Betty, of course, and then you move going forward. Dee Dee Bridgewater, Diane
Oh sure, the
Reeves.
singers, yeah.
So it's interesting, man. And then the young cats. I play with Josh and that band, Roy.
Roy, yeah, I wanted to ask you about this later.
So I think I've been lucky. I've been all the bands I've been in. When you think about Roy and Josh, especially, like we've been able to change the
Yes.
shape of music. Roy's band that changed
Yep.
definitely the shape of jazz, and
The
Josh,
quintet, yeah. That was
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. How are the elders like as band leaders? You mentioned you learned so much from Betty Carter and Ray. How was your experience like with Ray and Freddie and
Oh,
Joe Henderson and all these guys? And
uh, Joe was pretty laid back, so that he was always kind of just Joe. Like I don't even know how to explain that. Just very laid back. Ray was great. Ray was a businessman, and Ray always spoke about the business of music
yeah,
and learning how to navigate that part. He said you can play your ass off and not know anything about business. So we talked all the time. So me, him, and Benny Green, right, and then Jeff Keezer. We talked all the time. Going on tour was so much fun because we would just, you know, the hours in the airport were filled with stories, were filled with, history. So
yeah,
I felt like I was in school. And then on the bandstand, he was the same way like Betty. He's like, hey man, give me Hutch. Don't give me Hammer.
yeah.
Jeff Hamilton had played with him for years. He said, give me Hutch. Hammer is Hammer. I want that shit that you got. But then from that, we got to hear about all these, all the other great drummers that he loved. He loved Blakey. He loved Elvin, of course, and my guy from oh shit, I'm forgetting his name. From Philadelphia, he died in Italy. Oh shit. Oh man, I can't
Mickey
think.
Roker? No.
Not Mickey Roca. Kind of the same generation. Was a little crazy. Oh, we just spoke about him. It's gonna come back. I'll tell you later on. Yeah, but yeah, he was great. I mean, so Ray was that way. Betty was the same way. Josh was another great band leader. Learned a lot from Josh. Just
Yeah.
life and intellectual, just to step my game up. Yeah, it's the road is fun, man. That's why we do it.
Yeah.
We learn from each other, and basically that's like your extended family.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. How did you with Josh? I mean, I think you basically the music started to change then. Those albums Beyond and Passage of
oh
Time,
yeah,
and you started to introduce odd meters, and
yeah,
everything sounds so effortless. I think it's Ruben on bass, right?
yeah.
Ruben, right? Yeah,
Ruben's playing. Yep,
it's
Aaron
amazing.
Goldberg. Yep.
And it's like, how did that group function? I mean, how much was there talking, or did you guys just play, or like did you discuss about
No,
concepts or something?
we just played. We would rehearse tunes during sound check and then just play them and play them on the gig. That's the difference between having a working band and then having which most promoters want now are just projects.
Yes.
So they don't allow a working band to really flourish. So like, I think Bradford's one of the few who has a working band that's his band. That doesn't have to be a project.
Yep.
It's Bradford Marsalis. We need to get back to that. But anyway, with Josh, yeah, he might send, the hip thing is the beginning of sending MP3s and stuff like that. So he send you a tune, you check it out. We play it during sound check, and then we just start playing it, and the tunes evolve. So like, Passage of Time, all that stuff, all those records. It wasn't that we went and started rehearsing in a room one day. No, we just introduced one tune at a time, and then we got to play them because we toured so
You
much.
played a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and then oh shit, okay. And then after we made the records, we start playing the tunes better. That's always the case. You make the record and then it clicks on like woo. So there's some live versions of all of those tunes that are way better than the recorded versions. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that,
Odd
yeah.
Time, I would say this though, we didn't introduce Odd Time playing. Like it had already been done. It was being
Absolutely, yeah,
done.
yeah.
But we just had a different spin on it, so
Yep.
it was just something that we were coming into because you got to think Steve Coleman was playing, and Smitty was playing with him, Reggie Washington. So it was just a different way of thinking about it.
Yeah. It doesn't sound odd. Like I mean, it's what is odd anyway? Like it's
That's right.
five, but it's just like when you play those tunes like in seven, it doesn't sound like a seven.
No, no, and
It's
that's
so
the trick.
singable, it's like, oh, that's cool,
Yeah,
it's
and therein that's the you just said something that's so key. Why play something if you can't hum the melody? Like I think now a lot guys write tunes now where
yes.
it's so intellectual and it's like they're just like testing the limits of, man, that shit's so corny. I'm sorry. You can put that on a record. You can put it on a record that Hutch says that's corny because
I hear
if
you,
you can't
absolutely.
if you can't hum the melody, then what are we doing, right? Like it's like you can't dance to it.
Yeah.
So it's to me it's the same thing as the flurries. Like just play the groove, just play the pocket. Like just let that be the thing that makes people move instead of doing all this other stuff. So if the melody is something that you can't remember, then why are we bothering? Like so
Yeah. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I still think we can push the limits, but have not forget about the people and not self-indulge ourselves to the point where it just gets to be too much. And I think that's as the generations go on, that's what's happened.
Yeah. Yeah, the melody got lost. I mean, that's my perception of modern jazz as well. Like, it's less and less. I would love to see a kind of like Miles quintet band
Yeah.
this type of band live
The
because
melody got lost. You just said
yeah,
it.
you cannot see
Exactly.
it anymore, right? You see a band, a drummer who plays quintuplets in 11/7 on a I don't know 13 bar form or whatever. It's like okay, but
Yeah. Where's the simplicity? Where's
yeah,
the love, the
yeah,
joy of it, right?
yeah.
Exactly.
So maybe it's time that we bring that back slowly. I think
Well, I think
I
that's
don't know.
what this to see how good I am. Watch this. So I think that's what we try to do on this new album is the music is the music, right? What we said before, we can't recreate uh, that. Like, and the interesting thing is, if you sit down and you listen to my record and you listen to those tunes of the same tunes where they come from, like Black Comedy,
Yeah.
man, there is no way in the world to recreate that energy that they had because a when you listen to it, the joy in it is understanding where the mistakes are, but the mistakes are so great.
Yeah.
Like they don't, and there's an energy that they had because they were just getting to starting to play like this. It wasn't something that they rehearsed. They just started doing it. So, for me to attempt to play these tunes, which is like I listened to them, but I never played this. I never played Black Comedy. So, man, and then I realized, oh wow, like this is very interesting to try and tackle something like this. We played our time tunes before, but with the knowledge of where it came from, oh man, so I think trying to make the music enjoyable and still challenge ourselves was the challenge of doing this record. But then also swinging hard as a motherfucker. That was
Yes.
really, I always that's what I'm known for. So everything I do is gonna have if you can't tap your foot to it and snap your hand like this, then I can't. That's where I come from. So
Yeah. Absolutely. We mentioned Miles, and they were developing. They played like, I don't know, 200 gigs a year or even more probably. They had a band, and how hard is it, let's say, for you now, being a band leader with this new record? I mean,
well,
obviously you're at such a high level. Of course, you can meet tomorrow in Paris and play an amazing gig, right? But still, to develop a music, like being a band leader and having a band.
well, this goes back to the thing we were talking about, like about the industry and how. So if you're seen too much, then promoters don't want they get scared because everyone sees you. So I've been told I play in so many bands with so many people that I need to disappear. Well, this is my life. This is what I love to do, and that's some shit that just started happening, like over the course of year, like now, like back in the day, all those guys played with other bands.
Absolutely.
So that's the hard part, trying to do that. And then also you have to think like Blakey was smart. Everyone on my record is a leader in their own right. So trying to get all those guys is so hard. So I have to look for the next generation of players, and I found them. There's a whole lot of people.
Wow, beautiful.
Now the hard selling point is okay. People say, well, we want the band record. We want the guys on the record, to be the ones to play. Yeah, okay. Well, if the money's right, yeah.
Exactly.
Like if I can afford to fly those guys all the way from New York or whatever, cool. But if not, then I'm gonna do the best thing, which is play with musicians who are up and coming, who are finding themselves, but who sound great. The same way I was given a chance. I like to be the new Blakey. Like I like to do the same thing. So I like to just say this to all the promoters: don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to think out of the box, which is not really thinking out of the box. Just go back to the way things were. Your public will enjoy the music. That's what you got to think about first. Let the music sell itself.
Yep. And it's your name still,
And it's me.
it's you. So it's your band. It's
I worked hard, and that's the other side though. That's the weird thing about it. It's like I'm not that though. Like I'm not, it might say, I don't want it to say Gregory Hutchinson. I want it to say kind of now. I just, because I feel like everyone is important. And I know some people might, if a record company hears this, they're like, what are you saying? But I feel like everyone is important. Everyone contributes. I just happen to be the person that's giving the opportunity
Yep.
right here. But I really feel like I can't play by myself on stage. So if you're gonna put my name, then it's got to be featuring this so and so and so. So it can't just be Gregory Hudson kind of now.
Yeah.
That's how I am. Maybe it's a good, maybe it's bad. I don't know, but I feel like everyone is so important in this journey, and the journey is being shaped by the people that I encounter on and off the bandstand.
Yeah, it's a team sport anyway, right?
It's a team sport. Look,
I mean,
you got the Knicks jersey on.
yeah, yeah,
If we don't get the ball out of whose hand all the time, then we're not gonna win. If Cat doesn't step up, we're not gonna win,
true, true,
right?
absolutely, yeah, yeah. That's always. Although the band, they always say in jazz, the band is as good as the drummer is, right? So
That's the other side.
come
Okay,
on,
now there we go. I feel the band is always as good as the rhythm section,
which
and
is true,
especially the drummer.
which
If
is
the
true.
drummer is sad, then the band, you can't do nothing with it. I'm sorry. The
Yeah,
bass player too, though, because the bass player is the one person that holds down. He's the bass is in the middle, right, for a reason. You have the rhythmical aspect, and then you have the harmonical, the harmony.
yeah,
So the bass players, drums and bass. If that ain't happening, forget about it.
yeah, yeah. I knew always in the past, like I did projects with Tyshawn Sorry or like
Oh, that's my man.
Gerald Cleaver, all these guys, and I knew it was gonna be great because it's just
That's
like
my man. That's
I
my
don't need
dude.
to tell them anything. It's just like,
Tyshawn is incredible, man. We talk all the time. He's that's the good thing about being this older cat. I get to see all these young cats come up,
yeah,
and they inspire me. Like so keep me on my game. Keep me like looking, reaching, and trying to get something new so they can always be like, "Damn, Hutch, what's that?" Like
yeah,
at the moment that it's not "Damn, Hutch, what's that?" That's the moment I stop playing. I'm
yeah,
not gonna like when the skills ain't there, then it's over. I'll be a manager. I'll be a sound engineer. I'll do something else. But the drums, like I respect the instrument too much to get to a point where it's like I don't want to be a novelty ever.
yeah,
That's not why I started playing drums. And at that point, I respect too much. I'll give them away.
yeah, yeah. It's to respect the elders and the heritage as well and
That's right.
everything. It's just yeah, the music.
That's
Uh,
right.
I wanted to ask you. I was 14 when the Vibe came out. I remember. I still
Oh
have that
wow.
record on CD and those tunes, Charisms and Alter Ego and that stuff. And
Wow. Yeah.
how was that band like with Roy? I mean, because Roy
Oh
did then later the Cuban stuff, and but that
Roy
band
was
had something. How did that band happen?
to me that's one of the greatest bands.
Yeah, yeah,
That band happened because we were all young. And that band happened because Winton and Branford opened the doors, you know. Um, Winton with his band and Branford with his band. So we were coming behind that, and Roy was exceptional. Like Roy was this guy who stayed with his horn all the time, writing music all the time, and writing music for the band.
yeah,
And I met Roy in a line at one of those jazz conventions, and I never forget. It's early in the morning, and we were waiting in line, and in front of me, I think it's Delphio Marsalis, right? And Roy comes and he tries to jump in front of me in the line. I say, "Hey," I put my hand. I say, yo, man, what you doing?" He said, "Oh man, I said, no, 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 man, no, you gotta get to the back, bro." And I was like looking at him, like, "Hey, what's your name, man?" He's like, "I'm Roy Hargrove." I said, "Oh, what's up, man? I'm Greg Hutchinson." He said, "Oh, shit, what's up, man?" I said, "Come on, you got it." And that was the moment. From that moment on, and it took a little while before I joined this band because I was doing other things already. But then when we hooked up, man, it was the bandstand every night. I have tapes. I have
mm.
funny. I'm finding tapes. I found a tape the other day from a place in Utrecht. Utrecht.
Oh yeah, in Holland, yeah. The
Porky
Jazz
and Bess.
Podium, Jazz Podium
Porky
program.
and Porky and Bess.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know that
Not
place.
the Porky and Bess in Austria, but the other
No,
Porky
the
and
in
Bess.
Terneuzen in Holland.
Tenoisen,
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
I
man.
played there once. Yeah.
I found 3 cassette tapes,
Woo.
and I think I have my Pro Walkman here somewhere. I'm gonna listen because I know that that's fire. So I might send them to his family. But man, we rehearsed a lot, and that band was great. Rodney Whitaker, me, Rodney, and Mark Carey. That's a
Yes.
hell of a rhythm section. Me, Rodney, Peter Martin. That was another rhythm section. Um, and Ron Blake, Antonio Hart. Between Ron, Antonio, and Roy, like that was it. And the first band was Antonio, Roy, me, Mark,
Yeah.
and Rodney. And that band changed a lot. And I'm forever grateful for just the opportunity to know Roy. If you think about it, Roy changed everything, not just music. Roy changed fashion.
Yep.
There was nobody dressing like Roy back then. I never saw someone wear a suit with some sneakers and look so dope.
That's true actually.
Like
Yeah.
really, like Roy was I don't know how he got this, but he was ahead of the curve, and he always stayed that way, you know. And so I don't. You know, when people ask me about Roy, we only talk about the person that I knew. That yeah, we all had our issues, and Roy had his, but for the person he was and the music he created, I'm forever grateful to have known him and still know him. You know, he still gets in my head now. You know, so that band would, hey,
How was
101.
how was he like as a band leader? I mean,
Oh,
was
he's great. He's
yeah,
great. You know, he was Roy.
yeah,
He's Roy, and that was the beautiful thing. Like he had his vision, but he let us shape the. A lot of those arrangements, man. I
like it
came
should be.
up with a
Yeah,
bunch of arrangements on the spot. We used to play Close Your Eyes, and I remember we just started doing things on the bandstand, and we're like, oh yeah, let's put I'm good. I'll just put a break anywhere, scat. But luckily, the people I'm playing with, they understand. Oh wait, woo, and that's how we would go. And those are the kind of people I like to play with. That it's not scripted.
mm-hmm.
Nothing is scripted. Like I tell guys, we sometimes I play with guys, and if they play a killing solo, that's the end of the tune. Like we don't need to go back and play the head again. Why do we always have to play the head in and the head out?
Yes, yeah,
That is so corny. That's so corny. Like so, if I'm playing a solo, and other thing is the drum. Like I'm not really into drum solos anymore. But if I have to solo, and I solo at the end, and maybe it happens to be burning, okay, we stop right there. I just dissolve. If
yep,
you keep doing the same shit over and over the way it was done, we'll never move forward.
yep, yeah,
Or just not don't play the head in. Like we do on my album, we play 7 steps. We don't play the head until the end of the tune.
yep,
I said 1, 2, and Ron Blake said, do it, and there we go. But
yep,
that's what we used to do with Roy. So,
yeah. And it must have been a privilege also because I think you guys played quite a lot also touring wise, right? Like,
oh man, that band so here's the other part. Remember I said the business of music? Yeah, well, when you're that young, you don't really know. So yeah, we toured a lot, and it gave us a chance to grow and to learn. I'm sure if I would have been making the amount of money that I think we should have been making, then I would be, oh man, I'd be a millionaire probably by this point. But you know what? I like to say that it was one of the few bands that we would go on the road, and maybe we would have 2 or 3 weeks worth of work, and we'd be out for 8 weeks
mm,
because Larry's, people say whatever they want. Larry's a hustler, and Larry took a chance, and Larry would always understand, he's gonna bank on the band. So we would do door gigs that I'm sure like he took a low percentage, but in the end we end up coming out on top because Roy would always sell out.
of course, yeah,
So there's something to be said. Old school, I grew up with old school cats, man. There's something to be said about that kind of hustle. The young guys, they don't have that now. Like the younger generation doesn't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. And the good and bad of it is there's no one for them to apprentice with.
yes, that's a huge
And
problem.
that's
Yeah,
why the music sounds the way it does. Because there's no one for them to go on the road with. There's no Freddie Hubbards. There's nobody for all these young cats. So they come out and they have to be band leaders.
yep,
And that's why the story is a good story, and there's some great band leaders, but the story is not the story
yep,
because you're not getting a chance to learn how to develop your voice that way under someone who's already got a voice, who's already been, so you're not getting that history. You're not getting a chance to sit down and hear about what it was like in the 50s or what it was like in like I had a chance to do, and like so many others, like if that's so important to how you play this in your music.
yeah. But it's up to you now, your generation. I mean, I know
Yeah,
Josh
yeah,
Redman's been doing it, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
you know, people get to hear, you know, traveling in a car how it was with Roy, or you know, with
No,
whoever.
no, we tell stories. I love
That's important, you
storytelling.
know.
We pass those stories along, man. And the beautiful thing is, even from like the old guys to me, those stories have changed so fucking much. And then from from even from when I tell the stories, they change. And then other people gonna embellish. So the stories will be told to the point where at some point we won't even be part of the story. Man, you know, when I was on a road with Betty Carter, wait, you weren't on a road with Betty. What was good? But that's the fun part, you know. Like Betty would tell stories, man, and
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's some incredible Ray Brown,
Oh,
Oscar Peterson. I got a chance to record with Oscar. So just sitting at a dinner table with Oscar Peterson and Ray Brown and listening to them talk, you know, you shut up. You don't say a
yes.
word, and you just, your eyes and your ears are like, I can't believe. Like if I was to die today, I could honestly say I've heard some of the strangest shit, some of the most incredible shit, and some things that people probably wouldn't even. I mean, just who gets to go into a hotel and I'm standing in the lobby doing this, getting ready to do the record with Oscar Peterson, and checking into the hotel, and right next to me is Sidney Poitier,
Woo.
and I'm staring at and I'm looking and I'm just like, oh shit, and you know, I want to say something, but I'm like, no, and then Ray Brown comes in. Sidney Poitier, you motherfucker. And I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, hey, this is my young drummer, Greg Hutchinson. And I was like, oh yeah, the young man's been standing. And Sidney says, the young man's been standing there for a while. I said, excuse me, sir. I just want to tell you, you've changed. You've changed a life. You were groundbreaking.
Yes.
But to Ray Brown, it's just Sidney. You know, he's just like same thing with Hank Jones. You know, like we see these guys and we know them from a certain thing, but they all grew up together. So for them, yeah. So yeah, it's
It's
these
like you
stories
seeing Josh now, or you know, Chris McBride, or whoever, like, or
exactly. And
yeah.
Christian, you know, Christian's doing great things. We just did his jazz cruise. Yeah, he's taking us into the next wave of where the music needs to go, and he's an ambassador. So you know, we thankful for him too. You know, he's another great band leader.
Yeah. All you guys, your generation is so strong, man. I mean, it's just
Yeah, we try to get
incredible.
it, man.
So incredible. Hutch, not to take too much of your time, I just wanted to ask you one thing. Like, I was so, in a way, surprised because I didn't expect you there. How did you connect with Kurt Rosenwinkel? Because you were not part of that crew in the 90s.
No. I didn't play. No, I knew
And,
Kurt,
like,
but that's a young Kurt was still in school, like when I was already playing. So, but we connected because we known each other. But when I moved to Europe, he lives in Europe,
yeah.
so we connected over like COVID before a little bit before COVID, and we've been playing. I'm getting ready to go out with him Wednesday.
Oh, beautiful.
Um, and he's fun. You know, Kurt, man. Kurt is you know, guitar players are different, man. They love they Schofield and Kurt. Let's see, Schofield. You said what did we say? We said who do we name there? We named Schofield. We named Kurt from this generation. Also, oh shit, before who
You mean Schofield generation?
before Schofield, Kurt,
Oh,
and
like,
then
shit, yeah, I don't know. Frizzell, Martini.
Frizzell, Matheny. Yeah.
You know,
All
that's
right.
like,
So it's, they're all so different, and they all have their voices. And I think the beautiful thing about Kurt is like he's just very lyrical in his playing. So
yeah.
lyrical. And you know, it's always fun. I can just play. You know, same thing with Schofield. I can just play. So.
I saw you with Schofield actually. Now I remember with Larry Goldings in Austria. I saw
Oh
you years
man,
ago in
yeah.
Vels.
There's a record that never came out that we
Oh
recorded
shit,
live,
really?
and
I see that.
that was Schofield was great. Man. I love Schofield.
That was fun, man. Yeah,
He's one of my favorites for sure.
because you know his time is so different.
Oh man, he's in there,
He's
boy. He's
like
really in there.
so good.
He's really, really in there.
Beautiful.
And he's still doing it too with Stewie and Vicente.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill Stewart. Oh my God, how could I forget about Bill Stewart? Another one, you know, like look, all these guys, I used to see Bill Stewart when we used to play at Augie's, which is now
August, yeah,
Smoke.
sure. Yeah.
And Bill Stewart was killing me back then. Bill Stewart, I would just be looking at Bill like, what the hell, man? And then to know him and hang out with him, I consider him a great friend. But he's an inspiration too, you know, like he's one of those guys that he's a musician's musician. Like we love Bill Stewart. Like, you know, he plays and he plays the instrument the right way. His attitude is good. And he's fun to be on the road with, you know. So that's why we do what we do. That's why I love this music still. This music is something incredible. We are something incredible. The camaraderie, the friendship that you make, you know, that goes forever.
Yeah. Yeah. You rounded it up so nicely. So it's like ending a tune on a. I will not.
You know, hey, you got there's a beginning, there's the middle, and then there's the end, right? In
Yeah,
this
so
case, we put the point at the end. Yeah.
Man, it was just like, okay, no need to play the head, but
No. The head is buying my new record. That's the
Yeah.
that's the head.
that was the head out is basically just one question. Like, what are your plans for the remaining months and like touring, playing wise?
We wanna get this record going. I'm doing stuff like this. You know, I love to do interviews, so I can talk all day, as my fiance would tell you. But that's it, man. I want to put this music out there. And you see,
Yeah.
the drums are right here. I'm practicing. I'm trying to take it to another level. So when we get on the road, it's a new version of me that you keep hearing and keep hearing that. But this record, kind of now, the Pulse of Miles is what we're really celebrating this year, and next year and the year after, and then we'll find something else to do. But
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you for the support, and when you see me, come on, man.
Yeah. Let's have a beer or something.
Thank you for sure.
Yeah. Greg, thanks so much for sharing
Thank
some
you,
of these
brother.
thoughts. And you're in Italy, right?
Yes. Where are you?
I'm here in Slovenia, in Maribor, which is like
Oh, you know what? I'm going with Yuri
ah,
up in Velenje.
yeah, that's like an hour away from me.
Yeah, I'm going there on Wednesday, Thursday. I'm there on the 27th,
Oh, I'll check it out.
28th. Yeah, because
You're
we
playing-
do his work. He do his clinic.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'll be up there. So if you happen to come out, man, good to see
Super.
you. If not, let's talk, man. Thank you
Super.
very much. I appreciate it.
Cool, man. I'll send you a
Take
link
care,
when this is
brother.
out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Take care, brother.
You too. Ciao.